All right, let's dive straight in. You're probably here because, well, you've seen the meme coin frenzy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you've even, had a taste of some of those crazy gains, and you're
Right.
thinking, what's next?
Exactly. You want to know what could be the next big mover, right? The one that
Yeah.
might deliver those really eye-watering returns.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're digging into today. We've sifted through some different takes, different sources to try and give you a bit of an edge.
Yeah, this isn't about, broad market stuff. It's really focused, laser focused on meme coins and their potential to surge, maybe even in the next month or so.
Okay.
We're looking at clues about where that next wave of excitement and maybe profit might come from, and especially that contrast, you mentioned it, between the smaller coins and the bigger ones.
Gotcha. So to get us going, we've got a YouTube video from Champ that gives us a bit of a feel for the overall crypto vibe, where all coins might be headed.
Right.
Then there's this article from 99 Bitcoins. They're really going after those potential, 1,000x crypto gains. Big numbers.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Huge numbers, yeah.
And finally, insights from Alex Becker's channel on YouTube. He's talking market pumps, how altcoins can sometimes just suddenly move.
Okay.
So with these different angles, where do we even start trying to pinpoint these potential short-term rockets in the meme coin world?
Well, I think it makes sense to start with the bigger picture first. Just understand the environment.
Okay.
So Champ talks about the recent market dip. He's sort of suggesting it could be a strategic buy zone if you believe, like he does, that more government money printing is coming down the line.
Right. Quantitative easing and all that.
Exactly. And he thinks that could fuel an altcoin season maybe later this year.
Okay. And he brought up the fear and greed index too, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Saying that historically, when there's a lot of fear, like extreme fear, those have often been decent entry points. He even compared it to the FTX crash period.
Which is, a pretty bold comparison to make.
It is. And what's interesting is that Champ, even though he sees the meme coin thing, the craze, he seems to be leaning more now towards coins with actual utility, like real use cases.
So less of the random bullshit tiny coins, as he apparently put it.
Yeah, that was his phrase. It suggests maybe he's seeing a shift or wants to see one.
Okay, but then you contrast that with Alex Becker.
Right. Becker's view is quite different. He's talking about a potential giant pump, like really big
Driven by.
institutions, whales,
Yeah.
the big money.
Yep.
But then he throws in a big warning. It could be followed by a, quote, massive dump.
So a setup, potentially.
Could be. And he also points out something interesting, how low retail interest seems to be right now. Like, everyday people aren't piling into crypto at the moment.
Yeah.
And he sees that lack of hype, that quietness, as maybe setting the stage for a pump. The idea being, fewer small sellers means less resistance when the big players decide to push prices up.
Okay, that makes sense. Fewer people to dump on the way up initially.
Exactly. So both sources, even with different focuses, they're pointing towards potential big moves, volatility,
Ups and downs, likely. Okay, so let's zero in on the meme coins then. That's what people are really wondering about.
for sure.
So Champ seems a bit cautious now, right?
Mhm.
Wary of the tiny brand new ones. He's saying focus on legitimate coins with uses.
Yeah, that's his current stance, it seems.
But then Becker comes in, much more bullish, saying meme coins, especially on Solana, could see, quote, stupid crazy returns.
Ha! Yeah, stupid crazy. It's a direct clash, isn't it, on where those quick gains might pop up.
It really is.
But, and this is crucial, Becker also gives these really strong warnings. He hammers home the risks.
Like what specifically?
High chance of scams, insider trading possibilities, just how unpredictable they are, and the fact that they can crash like super fast and maybe never come back. Total wipeout potential.
Okay.
He uses the shill guy example to really drive that point home. It backs up all the general risk warnings we see everywhere.
So even the guy talking about stupid crazy returns is saying, hey, be really careful.
Extremely careful, yeah. He did mention a couple of what he called blue chip meme coins,
Well,
Dogecoin and Fartcoin.
fart coin. Seriously.
Seriously. But look, he put massive disclaimers on it, basically saying, this is pure speculation. Don't bet your life savings on my meme picks.
Right. Okay. Sensible disclaimer, I guess.
Very sensible. And then, interestingly, he pivots to Pudgy Penguins as his, top meme coin idea.
Pudgy Penguins, the NFT project.
Yeah, they're moving into the coin space, too. He highlights their brand, the fact they have physical toys now, real-world presence, and the founder's reputation.
So even within meme coins, there's like
Yeah.
levels, some seen as maybe less risky or having more substance.
That's what it suggests, yeah, sort of perceived hierarchy. Which kind of brings us nicely to that 99 Bitcoins article and its focus on the massive potential gains, the 1000x stuff.
Right, which almost by definition points you towards the smaller market cap coins, doesn't it?
Exactly. That's the core idea in the article. The math is just simpler. Going from, say, $100,000 market cap to $100 million. That's 1,000x.
Okay.
Trying to get 1,000x on a coin already worth $1 billion, you'd need it to hit $1 trillion. Much, much harder.
Right, so if you're chasing those absolutely massive exponential returns,
Yeah,
you kind of have to look at the little guys.
that's what the article implies, yeah. It puts the spotlight squarely on those smaller, often newer meme coins.
And they list some examples, names I probably haven't heard of.
Oh, yeah. Names like BTC Bull Token, Mind of Pepe, Fantasy Pepe, Harry Hippo, Influencer Pepe.
Okay, definitely not the household names yet.
Not yet. And they each have a slightly different angle, apparently. BTC Bull links to Bitcoin and maybe BTC airdrops. Mind of Pepe uses the Pepe meme but adds an AI twist.
AI is everywhere now.
It is. Fantasy Pepe is AI for sports predictions. Harry Hippo is AI plus play-to-earn gaming. Influencer Pepe is, well, focused on influencer marketing.
So these are the types of coins that could theoretically just explode in a short time frame, give you those wild returns.
That's the potential upside, yes. But, and it's a huge but, the risk is just as massive, maybe more so.
Right, because Champ is wary of these tiny coins now.
Exactly.
And Becker, even while being bullish on returns, paints that grim picture of scams and crashes.
Precisely. The 99 Bitcoins article, while highlighting the potential, still operates within that high-risk crypto reality. Their own disclaimer talks about volatility, lack of history for new coins, regulations changing.
All the usual warnings.
All the usuals. Plus, Becker uses much stronger terms, calling it financial gambling, high scam probability, coins run by goblins that could go to zero.
Goblins. Okay, so not exactly a vote of confidence in the developer sometimes.
Not always, no. And the 99 Bitcoins piece points out another thing. Many of these small caps use pre-sales.
Getting in before it lists on exchanges.
Right. Which can seem attractive, getting in super early at a low price.
Right.
But it adds another risk layer. Loads of pre-sale projects just fizzle out, or worse, they're outright scams. Rug pulls.
Yeah, heard of those. So that early entry potential comes with serious homework needed.
Absolutely critical. Due diligence is paramount there. Okay, so thinking about our focus, potential growth in the next month. What specific coins do the sources hint at, keeping that small versus large cap thing in mind?
Well, Champ didn't really name specific small meme coins he likes right now. He seems more cautious currently, but he was enthusiastic about Solana before, and that's where a lot of meme coin action has been. So maybe he still sees potential in that ecosystem, just prefers utility now.
That seems a fair read. He sees the playground, but is maybe looking for safer swings right now?
Yeah. The 99 Bitcoins article, though, that gives us actual names in the small cap zone.
Let's go list we mentioned.
Yeah. BTC Bull Token, Mind Pepe, SUBBD, Fantasy Pepe, Influencer Pepe, Harry Hippo, Slaxity. And then those they launched recently or are still in pre-sale.
Okay, so they're very early stage.
Very early, which means, yeah, low market caps. Any real interest or hype could send the price rocketing fast, in theory.
But the reverse is just as true. They could collapse just as quickly, highly volatile.
Extremely. And then from Becker, we got the bigger names mentioned, like Dogecoin as a spec play.
Right, the established giant.
And that Fartcoin, which sounds like peaked again.
Peaked again, yeah. Definitely high risk.
But his top pick, Pudgy Penguins, that's already a known entity, right? Bigger market cap, more established in the NFT world.
Exactly. So Becker gives us this spectrum, the old guard like Doge, the super risky new stuff like Fartcoin, and then something like Pudgy Penguins, which is kind of established but still in the meme brand space.
So we really see that split. The established coins, maybe less explosive gains, but perhaps more stability, maybe.
A big maybe, yeah.
Versus the tiny caps with that moonshot potential, but also the very real, very high risk of just vanishing, going to zero.
That's the core tension. If you're purely targeting the biggest possible percentage gains next month, the math points towards those small caps from the 99 Bitcoins list, or similar ones. Lower starting point means higher ceiling, potentially.
But it comes wrapped in flashing red warning lights.
Absolutely. Flashing lights, sirens, the works, all the sources basically scream high risk when talking about this end of the market. Volatility, scams, speculation, it's all there. The larger caps are just inherently less likely to do 100x or 1000x in a month.
Okay. So it really just boils down to your own risk appetite, doesn't it?
It has to. That potential for rapid, massive gains seems concentrated in the smaller, newer coins, but you have to be okay with the very real chance of losing most or even all of that investment.
Yeah, the sources paint this picture of potential, definitely, for meme coin growth, maybe driven by bigger market forces.
Hmm.
But they layer on thick warnings, especially for the tiny ones. Research, caution. It's paramount.
Couldn't agree more.
And predicting which specific tiny coin is going to be the one next month. That feels more like pure guesswork almost.
It's incredibly speculative. Meme magic is hard to bottle,
Yeah.
Driven by social trends, hype cycles. Very tough to predict reliably.
Okay, so we've dug into where the sources suggest that potential might lie, especially for short-term explosive growth, probably in those smaller market cap meme coins.
Yeah, with all the massive caveats attached.
Right. So maybe the final thought for you, the listeners, you're looking at this crazy meme coin space, especially those tiny ones whispering promises of 1000x.
Uh-huh.
Ask yourself this seriously. Given the insane volatility, the scams, the goblin developers Becker mentioned, what chunk of your money are you truly, genuinely prepared to potentially lose completely in chasing those kinds of gains?
That's the real question.
Yeah. What's your actual pain threshold when gambling in this particular casino? Something to really chew on before you jump in.